So you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you've been considering for months now. Here's the honest truth that you need to know before starting a YouTube channel. If you give me your undivided attention for the next 12 minutes, I promise you, you're going to get something that most of the people would pay for around $2,000 for free, which is 7 things that you need to know before you post your first video. There's stuff that other creators won't tell you because it's either too real, too uncomfortable, or they genuinely don't know. Then I'll show you 5 accelerator that took my channel from 800 views to 70,000 views per video in less than 12 months. If you're serious about doing this, grab a notebook because you're going to need it. So I'm not going to waste your time with the usual advice. Be consistent and follow your passion. You already know that kind of stuff are not going to work. It's mostly BS. So I started my tech review channel about 10 years ago while working my full-time 9-to-5. I absolutely hated it. I had no special equipment, no consistent, no connection in the industry, and no strategy whatsoever. And I've made every single mistake that was possible. I wasted about 6 months creating content that nobody watched. I spent money on gears that I didn't need. I followed advices that killed my growth. Today, I have over 47,000 subscribers. I work with brands that used to ignore me, and my main YouTube channel makes me more than what I get from my professional 9-to-5 jobs. It didn't happen because I stayed consistent or I followed my passion. It happened because I figured out what actually works. And that's what I'm going to share with you exactly in this video. First, let's talk about what you need to know before you start even filming. Which is your niche? Like with any business, there's a business strategy. If you are, for example, traveling from A to B, you're going to a holiday, what do you need? You need your passport ready, you need your visa, you need your suitcase, and you need your flight as well as your destination. How are you going to get there? Your map, your roadmap. So having a niche and a roadmap, it's very important. And these are the things that we do teach in our course. Again, don't get sucked into the subscriber count where everyone is overly obsessed of, I want to hit 1,000 subscriber. I want to hit 100,000 subscriber or 1 million subscriber. All of this does not matter if you are working on the wrong niche. Here's the truth that no one tells you. Subscriber count means nothing if you pick the wrong niche. I know a gaming channel over 500,000 subscriber and they make close to 1 million views every single month and they make somewhere around $2,000 a month. On the flip side, I know a tech review channel that doesn't get many views and they have 30,000 subscribers and they make around $8,000 every single month. Consistent. Now the difference between the two creators, one is a niche where he gets money or she gets money from videos that they're pumping out. It's a gear review, like they're reviewing a camera, a microphone, a light or anything. And the audience who are watching those reviews, they are in a buying mindset. On the other hand, the gaming channel, who's watching that? Most likely would be someone who's looking to be entertained. They're not there to buy something. They're there to waste their time and get entertained, receive that dopamine that they're craving for and move on. So that type of channel is relying on view counts and retention. On the other hand, the person who's doing a tech review channel like mine, they're relying on sponsors as well as obviously view count and many other factors. But most important, they're making more money with a smaller audience. And this is the key part that you need to start considering. That's why it's very important to select the right niche. What you need to ask yourself is that, would brands pay me for my audience's access? If the answer is yes, you're already in the correct niche. This is where you need to work on from the get-go, not later on and start pivoting. Are your viewers a buying mindset or entertainment? So for example, I sell products on Etsy. Things like wallpapers for your smartphone or for your laptops. So that is a product. So if I leave a link and somebody's considering in purchasing a wallpaper, they can click that and they can purchase. Affiliate links. If I'm actually saying buy this microphone or this light, I will leave a link in the description. That's probably affiliate link where I would get a kickback where somebody buys and I get a small commission. So most important is your niche, which determines your income. So if you fix that equation, which we're going to tell you later on, then that is where the winner section sits on. Example is somebody who's traveling abroad and doesn't have a roadmap, doesn't have any plan, and he gets into their car and they drive off the motorway. Will they end up a possible destination that they would be happy with? Probably not. But if you have a map and you have your car, you've put your gasoline in and you'll drive off and you follow the map, obviously you will end up close enough to the destination where you want to be. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Your first 20 videos are going to suck. Not because you're bad at it, it's because you're learning. And the algorithm doesn't care that you're new. What the algorithm cares is that your videos are providing value to your audience or to a newer audience, and it puts us more forward. If your video is not performing well, it would just push it down. So most of the people would quit between 3 to 5 months. They post about 15 videos and they get 200 views and they think this is not working anymore. But here's what's actually happening. You are learning the game. What game are we talking about? You're learning how to write a script, a hook, a thumbnail, a title, how to put a video set up like this, for example, how to light yourself. So you're learning through the journey by pumping videos. And that's the important part where when you're learning at the beginning, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So that's where you would learn what your audience actually want. I didn't see any real growth at the beginning until I've made my 27th video. And I was posting twice a week. And what you need to know before you start is you need at least 6 month minimum runway. When I say 6 month minimum runway, is that do not quit within that 6 months. Keep doing, keep improving, keep pumping good value. What you're doing is you're training the algorithm, you're training yourself. I know you're going to get a horrible result, and that's when you need to build your resilience and your mental toughness. You need to accept that your early content won't look great. Another thing that you need to do is you need to have a plan that doesn't depend on quick wins. So if you can't commit to 6 months, then don't start, because you're just going to waste your time and you're going to get discouraged. Now, the third thing you need to know is that equipment matters way less than you think, but the audio is non-negotiable. I spent over $12,000 on a camera. So this is a Sony a7C Mark I, but my first camera was actually a Nikon. So I spent about $1,200 on a camera filming something that I didn't need. It was a total waste of money. Only invest on audio when you're first starting out. If you have a little bit of money to cash it in, maybe you should also consider lighting. And now here's the hierarchy that actually matters when you're starting a YouTube channel. Number one, which is the audio quality. This is non-negotiable. As soon as you start, make sure you have a good microphone. Spend somewhere around $50 to $100. Number two, light. Light is very important because that's going to make you look good irrespective of where you're filming. If you're filming on a smartphone, you're still going to look nice if you've got good light. If you don't have the money to buy a light, make sure you use a natural light. Sit around the window and you light yourself well. Obviously, that has its own drawbacks because you've got time as well as weather bound. Number three, script and hook is very important. I started with my hook. You need 7 things to know before starting a YouTube channel. That was my first hook. And I also gave you a promise that by the end of this video, you're going to have 5 actionable things that you can do. So that way you will be able to go away and rework on. So those were my hook. So camera quality is dead last. Your phone is probably fine for now. If you have an iPhone 17 Pro, which most of the people would say they would have somewhere close to iPhone 17, that's more than enough. I know somebody who films on iPhone that's blown up, and I know somebody who films on 5,000 camera that's not doing so well. So the camera doesn't actually really matter. It's the value that you're delivering, if that makes sense. So the audio matters, everything else is just an ego. Number 4, things that you need to know is that the algorithm doesn't hate you. The algorithm is not a human being. So you need to train it up. So the value that you provide is what's going to deliver. If your video is good and it solves a problem that the market is looking for, it would pump it up. So if you are making videos for people that click, watch, and they stay, then this is where the YouTube would pump up more of your videos and it would promote it to your next video and the next video. However, if your videos, people are clicking and watching for 30 seconds and they're clicking off, the YouTube algorithm will bury it. What this means is that your title and your thumbnail needs to make people curious enough, not just to clickbait. Your videos needs to deliver on the promise that you gave on the title and the thumbnail. Longer watch hour beats higher views. So if your watch hour is longer, and a lot of people are watching your videos for a longer period, doesn't matter the views. And the fifth thing you need to consider, it's not about building a YouTube channel, it's about building a business. And this is one of the most important things that most of the people skip. If you treat your YouTube like a hobby, maybe you would get $50 a month from your AdSense. However, if you treat your YouTube like a business, it can replace your full-time job. So what does treating it like a business actually mean? If you have a content strategy, not a random videos, like a gamer who just does some random games, or a reviewer who actually reviews products that most of the people are looking for, and you tells them what to buy, what to not buy, and how to use it, that person has a little bit more authority in the industry than the person who's actually doing a gaming video. Creating contents that I love did not get me where I am now. When I first started my YouTube channel, I started with fitness. That's something that I loved. That didn't help me. That didn't give me any money. In fact, I got burned out. The moment I started shifting my mindset and doing tech review content, that's when things started to change for me. So I earn money from affiliate links, products, and as well as the product itself. If I want to sell it on, that's another means. Here's what actually works. One strategic video beats 3 random videos. I watched creators posting daily, getting 100 views per video, slowly dying. Where I post it once a week and I get 10,000 views plus for my one video. And it was designed to perform well. The real consistency that matters. So the most important here is this consistent quality, not quantity. Number 7, mental toughness. You would fail publicly, and that's the price you pay for the admission. And this one is the one that nobody talks about. You're going to post videos that you're proud of, and then you're getting 300 views. You're going to mess up on the camera. You're going to get negative comments. Your friends and family think that you're wasting your time, and you can't let that stop you because your vision and your dream is yours. They don't determine your destiny. The difference between people who actually make it on YouTube and other people who quit is that willingness to look stupid at the beginning. I posted videos with terrible lighting, awkward delivery, and ideas that completely flopped. They're still there in my channel, and I left them to remind me where I've started from. If you look at one of my first video, you could actually see my head, the cameraman chopped off my head. So I've posted it. You can see other videos, poor audio quality. Even the composition was horrible. The lighting setup, too harsh. All of that was all learning curve. And I've left it there. It reminds me where I started. I sometimes cringe watching them because the quality was horrible. Some of my older videos, I was teaching accounting. So again, I started in fitness, moved on to property, and then moved on to accounting. And now I'm in tech review. So you can see that the transition and the pivoting there. I was just moving and creating videos that didn't have some sort of a blueprint, a track record where I should follow. So that's why I've created an accelerator course so you don't have to make those type of mistakes. And therefore, all of this was part of my learning curve. You're lucky because I am spilling the beans so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did in my early stage. Because failing in publicly, it's how you learn. And learning is how you win. But you don't have to figure out all alone because I have a structured program and you can sign up with the link in the description. If you can't handle the embarrassment at early stage, YouTube isn't for you. All right, now, this is the 5 things that you can do right now to get ahead of most of the YouTube creators who are pumping those non-strategic videos. And here's how you can actually accelerate your growth. Number 1, I'll suggest you to use your Ikigai. For those who are not familiar, Ikigai is a Japanese philosophy, and it basically illustrates how you can actually figure out your niche, your purpose for life. So purpose for life, that's what Ikigai a little bit goes on, but we're talking about purpose in YouTube and how you can make money. So in order for you to determine your niche, I'll suggest you to write it down if you have a pen and paper, or pause, get a pen and paper right now and write it down. You need to first understand what you're good at. Okay? So what are you good at that can get you money? Or in other words, that has value in the public's eye. One, you need to write down what you're good at that can get you money, what the market needs, and what you're good at, what you're passionate at. So your passion, what you're good at, what the market needs, and what will get you paid. So if you could get these 4 things in a circle and they're all interlinked, the middle part is your sweet spot. You might love something, but the market doesn't need it. That's no good for you. You might know that the market needs a specific task, but you don't have the skills. If it's learnable, then I'll suggest you to quickly learn that skill that's needed and then teach that skill. The market would reward you. For example, editing. I struggled with editing when I started this YouTube channel. So I had to hire somebody to edit my videos. So that alone was a demand. Or what I did before I even started hiring someone, I started editing my own videos by watching other YouTube content creators, how to edit their videos. So they were editing their videos. They were showing me speed ramps, how to slow it down, how to fast cut, how to do a J cut, how to do a transition. All of these things was very important for me to learn at the beginning in order for my business to become successful. Note that I didn't say YouTube channel. So again, this is a business channel. So it's business. This is why I've created this new channel where I actually educate people in tech review channels how they can become successful. And my program will help you that. So once you've figured out your passion that can give you money, meaning that demand, the market rewards it, you're really good at. If you can meet in the middle, that's your sweet spot. That's basically your Ikigai. So what other content creators do, they just guess. Or worse, they just chase the trend. And that's what they think is sustainability. Smart creators like me, we use the Ikigai framework to find their sweet spots. Your niche sits in the intersection of all these 4. Here's how I found mine. What I like: technology, gadgets, testing new products. My background is engineering. I love how these products are made, so I can talk about it for hours and hours without getting burned out. What I'm good at is breaking it down complex into simple terms, spotting quality issues, and this is where my years of studying engineering degree pays off. What market values is an honest review before they spend 500 to 2,000 on devices. And based on my 9-to-5 job, I'm able to present this into a really presentable, commercially friendly, and that's what brands are seeking for. Tech brands have massive budget and they need a trusted reviewer with authority. That is the intersection. So I have the experience. I can demonstrate it in a way that the audience would like it and is commercially friendly. And the brands, because they have the budget, they don't have the skills, they don't have the audience, and they want to pay me. So we've got that 4 intersecting each other. And that's the sweet spot that I have selected. I'm getting paid for my videos. My viewers are benefiting from my reviews, and the brands will get money if the viewers buy them. And the viewers would buy them if they actually find it well fit for them. And this is the sweet spot that I have selected for myself. And that intersection is the tech review. And I've been successful compared to other reviewers because I've added a little twist to it. I've incorporated into a storytelling, as well as presenting the product into a little bit cinematic. So I've added a little bit spice to it. So it's very important to stand out in the market. Everyone else reviews. So for example, when the iPhone 17 came out, iPhone 17 Pro came out, I'm sure you've seen tons of reviews out there, but you must have watched at least 2 to 3 people before buying one. Why is that? That's because you wanted to hear different people's opinion. What do they think of? Is it the camera quality? There is a minor improvement compared to iPhone 16. Before buying this phone, I had iPhone 13 Pro. So I knew what I was getting into, because channels that's built in the wrong niche is just expensive practice. I spent 2 years making random content, accounting, fitness, property, before I figured out this one. So don't waste your time like I did. Now, the second actionable thing you can do right now is reverse engineer. What you can do is you can learn from those who are already winning. Here's my process. You need to find 3 channels right now that's currently between 50k to 500k subscriber count. Sort out their videos from the most popular. Analyze their top 10 videos. What is the title? What does their thumbnail style look like? What is the problem they're solving? And the crucial point here is that you need to make sure the video is from the last 6 to 12 months. If it's older than that, it might have been a trend, because some videos may do well due to the market trend or hot seasonal topics that won't work for you right now. So copying somebody else won't work for you right now. So just make sure that the videos are within the time frame that I've suggested. Then what you can do is you can create your own version of those concepts. So if you've now studied 3 of your favorite reviewers, and this is what I call reverse engineering. What you're doing right now is you're working end result to the front, because where you want to go is, you know the result. Now you're going to work backwards to understand how they've got it. At this moment, iPhone 15 Pro is not in demand. iPhone 17 Pro is in demand because we are in 2026. So note that. And you could do exactly the same, but the later phone. You might say, I don't have the phone. Fair point. But what you can do is, what phone do you have? Okay, you've got an older generation, iPhone 11, let's say. You can review iPhone 11 and say, my honest review about this iPhone 11 6 years later. There you go. So now you're going to put your own feedback, your own twist to it. This is the accelerator nobody talks about. YouTube controls your audience. If they change the algorithm tomorrow, your reach dies. But an email list is your own forever. And now this is what I would do if I was you and I was starting a YouTube channel. I would now start accumulating email list. Every video description has a link. That link goes into a simple landing page where they enter their email address and I give them in return the checklist. Now I have over 3,200 emails of people who watch my content. When I drop a new video, I email them. Instant views and watch time hits my channel. This also makes me way valuable to my sponsors. So I've started emailing brands, hey, I'm reviewing your products next week. Just wanted to let you know in case you wanted to share it with your audience. So this is exactly how I started. Half of them ignored me, but few replied. We connected on LinkedIn. 6 months later, when I've hit 10,000 subscribers, guess who reached out to me? Those same brands who used to ignore me reached out. Accelerator number 4. You need to talk to a brand before you need them. Random one-off videos are fine, but if you want to own your niche, you need a signature series. Mine is 6 months later. So I do my initial review. I also do 6 months later. So I'm getting 2 brand deals in one go. So moving on to accelerator number 5, which is creating your signature series. Like I said earlier, you could have that your first off review, and then you can do 6 months later and a comparison. Alternatively, you could do just one video and start hunting for the next one, which is not going to be a consistent way. So random one-off videos are fine, but if you build your own niche, you need to have a signature series. Mine is 6 months later. I revisit the same product after the hypes are dead. I show real long-term review experience. Now this gives me 3 things. It gives me creator pattern recognition. It fills the gap which most of the reviewers do not do that in the launch time, because when you're actually reviewing at launch period, the time frame that you've been given from the brand has a specific deadline, which is the launch day. And most of the reviewers will not have the opportunity to review every single detail. And that's why I'm filling that gap 6 months later. I'm also doing a comparison video. Alternatively, you can do budget versus premium. Again, this is a signature series that anybody can do that. You can compare premium product versus the budget. I like to watch contents, things like hotels or properties. Expensive property versus a cheap property. Expensive hotel versus a cheap hotel. What is the difference? These things are very important. Or you could do month later follow-ups. You can create something only you can do and do it consistently. This is how you become known. All right, real talk for a second. Starting a YouTube channel is one of the best decisions I've ever made. But I'm not going to lie to you. It was also one of the hardest things that I had to do. There were nights where I wanted to quit, videos that I was embarrassed of to post it on, months where I questioned if I was going to waste my time. But I kept on going, and eventually I figured it out. Most of the people, they would quit, like I said earlier, between 3 to 5 months. And I just pushed through, and pushing through sometimes can become really painful, because if you can't see results and you're sowing your seeds, you feel like you can't reap the product, then that's when you start questioning. Doubt starts creeping into you. And this is where our accelerator program helps tech reviewers, if you're one of those, how you can win and how you can bridge the market by becoming an authority in the industry. You can review something that you like. Within 6 months, you could expect and earn between 4,000 to 8,000. If you already have a follower, perfect. This is where most of the people are not serious. And if you're serious about this, not just interested, but serious, I want to help you skip 3 years of trial and error I went through. I'm talking to creators who are 10,000 subscribers or more. Creators who are not making any money, but they do have their followers and they want to build their review channel in the right way, not just post and pray for it. If you're interested, click the link in the description and book that 30 minutes discovery call. We will take a look at your YouTube channel together, and I will guide you. I would look at your YouTube channel or plan. If you haven't started one yet, I will map out exactly what you need. No charge, no pressure. Just honest feedback from someone who has been where you are. But spots are limited, because I can only work closely with few people at a selected time. If you're ready to stop watching other people building their YouTube channel and your YouTube channel plateau, or worse, you start giving it up, this is definitely not the right thing to do. So I would suggest you book that call and we'll see you there. Till next time, I'll suggest you to watch this video and stay legend.